Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We believe this is a debate about priority. We understand that many of the harms that they have talked about will surely happen under our model. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a debate about what kind of priority should government in developing nation make right now. I think closing opposition and open opposition is debating from the perspective of GOAT. Yes, objectively speaking, preservation of culture is important. But why is it important from the administrative perspective of developing countries' government right now? This is what my partner actually extended in her speech. Based on which, I would like to ventilate 2 clutch points in this debate. First of all, what is the administrative priority for government in developing nations right now? Secondly, I'm going to talk about time frame. What will be important in a longer period of time? It seems that many of the harms presented by the other side of the house is a transitional aspect of our model. Maybe after the paradigm shift have already materialized, many of the harm will no longer occur, and that is a simple rebuttal to the other side of the house. Let's move on to the first point about what is the priority right now. We believe this debate takes place in a specific geopolitical context in which English is used as a common language for diplomacy, culture, and economy, and so on. Note that the opposition case is very generic. They are opposing predominance of singular language in general, but not necessarily inherent in English as a nature of linguistic category. That's what we would like to emphasize in this debate. Therefore, even on their side of the house, predominance of singular language still happens. Maybe Tagalog, Hindu, other languages like Arabic. Right? But no, why is it okay for these people to use like a large populations people's language even under their model? The same problem will happen on their side of the house. Maybe if the country has a large population of Tagalog, then Tagalog will predominant in their model. Therefore, I think many of their argumentations are extra topical or off the track. So moving on to what we have made in this debate. What we'd like to talk about is we concede that the benefit for the cultural authenticity or cultural autonomy will surely be replaced. We are happy to pay for that sacrifice and cost, because let's think about whose benefit is it? Ladies and gentlemen, privileged groups in society have historically monopolized the value and wealth of the nations. The kind of like cultural appreciation is a benefit for limited number of elderly, conservative people or right-wing politicians within developing nations. What about vast majority of secular middle-class individuals or secular young generations? Ladies and gentlemen, these are the kind of people who have been victimized or exploited because they have been systematically blocked from accessing the important critical weaponry to survive in a globalized community, ladies and gentlemen. Therefore, it is unfair for the government of developing countries right now to prioritize the benefit for the limited number of privileged individuals at the expense of the victims of historical oppression in a hierarchical structure. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, from the perspective of duty of the government, we are happy to prioritize the utility for disenfranchised population or socially disadvantaged groups of population over those who have already acquired a lot of benefit already in the status quo. What kind of people are they talking about? Maybe rich politicians, maybe white males, maybe the male individuals who are occupying the corporate structure. And these individuals continue to acquire benefit anyway, even under our model. Therefore, the impact of their harm is marginal, and therefore effect has no impact in this debate. No, thank you. Indeed, I will take you some of it. Asao-kun.
Your argument just supporting the benefit of speaking English. In India, for example, that is English as one of the official languages succeeding to achieve the economical development. Given that, why administration have justification to deprive this kind of language when alternative as multiple language exist from our side?
2 responses for that idea. First of all, in reality, English is used as a predominantly common language in any global opportunity, regardless of already existing alternative. Second of all, even under their model, as I said before, predominance of an alternative language will be the problematic. Maybe Hindu, maybe Chinese, maybe Portuguese. But why alternative is worse off? Because when people acquire that kind of alternative languages, they are less likely to compete against same level as other nations in an equal playing ground. That's why partner and actually openly explained. Moreover, ladies and gentlemen, the kind of benefit my partner explained is about the ideologies. The open opposition agree with us that idea is mediated through languages. When you understand the meaning of a certain phenomena, you need to have languages, right? There are so many ideology or value that local language or translated language do not exist. maybe the conception of LGBT or human rights and the feminist movement, this kind of progressive idea or liberal idea came to or got exported to or imported to this developing nation as English was used as a common language. And this is important. We believe in a longer time what we can materialize the protection of these minority groups or socially disadvantaged groups who have been historically ignored and abandoned through the course of economic development, ladies and gentlemen. Therefore, even if we lose the very similitude or authenticity of local culture, we are fine with that, ladies and gentlemen, and that is a priority we would like to emphasize in this debate. Let's move on to the final clash points in this debate in a timeline. So, what kind of timeline are we talking about? Maybe there are argumentations about identity crisis, like Deri-san and Kairu explained, is a transitionary aspect of our policy. Maybe that happened in 5 years or 10 years. What about 50 years later? New generation, English is already their mother tongue. They have no problem about identity crisis. They do not have to represent their original identity anymore. Maybe they explain that, in many masterpieces was written in ancient languages. Those who really want to appreciate masterpieces should study older languages, but it's unfair that vast majority of people have to study common languages in English. Therefore, we will the other way around will be much better. If you want to study common or ancient languages, then you are supposed to do that. But that's not the justification to block vast majority individuals from accessing the critical tool to defend their interests and survive in a globalized community. Moving on to the final comparison. Yes, we believe that we accept many of the harms that they have explained. Maybe like religious leaders or the rich male may lose access to similar privileges, but that's fine because now is a time for government to compensate for the historical injustices that they have neglected and abandoned. Now is a time for the government to strike the balance between the rights of the weak and minority, next generation, and the already privileged groups of individuals. Therefore, from the perspective of compensation, we believe what we lose is a fair trade-off, ladies and gentlemen. Therefore, we are happy to defend this motion as a representative of a new generation and a representative of Hillary Clinton's secret guardian. Yeah.